was all dancing with the whisk, and you said okay, and you were recording while I was dancing with the whisk, and that's not nice. Okay, this morning it's time for a fancy schmancy breakfast. I do that once in a while, and I am making a quiche. I'm making quiche my way. I'm gonna go with the rule of 8 here. Before I do that though, pan, this is crescent roll sheets, and I just laid it out. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, puffy in places, not so puffy in others, because it comes in, you know, a rectangular sheet, and this is a crescent roll, or not a crescent roll, this is a quiche pan. I'm not awake yet. This is a quiche pan. So I did the best I could. You might be able to do it prettier. But then I have another pan over here with no crust in it, because sometimes I do like to make a crustless one as well. And I think that this is going to be a little more than I need in this pan anyway, which is good though, because we'll have leftover breakfast for the week since there's just the 4 of us here now. So, rule of 8. Here we go. 8 large eggs. I'm going to start whisking those just a little bit. I just want to break all the yolks right now, because I am going to add a whole bunch more 8s of things. So, it's just kind of broken up. 8 ounces of heavy cream. You don't have to use heavy cream. I like using heavy cream because it just brings a richness to what we're doing. You can use milk, you can use skim milk if you want. I just like using the heavy cream. So now I'm gonna whisk this up really good and get my eggs and my cream nice and mixed together. By the way, my oven is set on 375, and I did pre-bake this for about 5 minutes and poked holes in the bottom of it so that it wouldn't rise a whole lot. And this doesn't take but a minute to mix up. You don't want to over mix that, because your cream will actually whip some, even though it's got the eggs mixed in it. So, to that, I'm going to add, oh, there's a spot that needs to be mixed a little bit more. Hang on a second. You hear that noise? It's kind of funny. I'm still in the canning process, y'all. Do you see all these tomatoes? I got to deal with all that over the next day or two. It's kind of crazy. 8 ounces of, this is Parmesan and freshly shredded Romano. I like strong cheese. I like a lot of cheese. So we're throwing 8 ounces in there. You could do less, you could do more. It's up to you. But we like it, and I think that the 8 ounces is just a good mix. That's a cup, y'all, in case you didn't know. That is a cup. I've got 8 slices of bacon, cooked, chopped, 1/8 of a cup of finely diced green onion. If you don't like onions in breakfast food, I typically don't, to be honest. I can't stand a lot of those breakfast casseroles that have onions and bell peppers and stuff like that in them. I don't think they belong in breakfast, but that little amount in there is just the right amount. It's not overpowering, and it gives it just a little extra flavor. And then 8 ounces, 1 cup of fresh spinach that I cut in the chiffonade style. Chiffonade. It's just one of those fancy words that means roly-cutty, okay? You take a few pieces of the spinach, you roll them up together, you take your knife and you cut it in the little strips. Looks kind of like confetti or something. So, I'm going to mix all this in together. That does not want to stay there. There we go. Get all this nice and mixed up. And I think instead of just trying to pour it, I'm going to get my ladle and pour it in that way. That way I can use it to scoop all the stuff up. Hang on just a second. Well, wrong drawer. There we go. And I probably will just do maybe a half and half.
Did you salt it?
Oh, nice catch, Chris.
Just happened to see the salt there.
You can see the salt and pepper. I'm just going to give a few turns of my fresh pepper grinder. You don't need much, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. We don't want to over salt this because bacon has salt, the cheese has salt.
You have salt.
So you could you shut up. You're going to make me have salt in a minute and be salty with you. You made me forget where I was going. Oh, and pepper. You don't need a whole lot of pepper either because there's just a lot of flavor already there. I'm getting that ready. Spread out all that goodness. I added the spinach because I have made a promise to myself that I'm going to do better. I'm going to eat more vegetables. And this is a really good sneaky way of getting vegetables in. I don't think that the spinach is overpowering in its flavor. I think it's just enough that it adds just a little something else. You could certainly, though, if you wanted more, you could add bell peppers and stuff like that to it. I'm not a fan in the mornings. This one is going to be my crustless one, obviously, because there's no crust in there. Make you feel better about yourself if you're watching your carbs or something. I am sort of paying attention to those too, but it's more about just getting more vegetables into my diet. And the not the squash. I'm so stuck on squash right now, y'all. I'm getting so much squash and zucchini out of my garden and butternut squash, massive butternut squash. We got 6-pound butternut squashes this week. It's crazy. But anyway, the onions and the spinach did not come from my garden. They came from Imperfect Foods. And I like that because I don't have to go buy it. I don't have to go pick it out. I just pick it out online. They ship it to the house, and it forces me to use stuff because it's already here. Because when you go to the grocery store, you can just walk right on by that stuff in the aisles and not pick up the fresh spinach and the fresh green onions and that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to pop these in the oven, and we'll be back in a little bit when they're done. All right, my quiches are done. Y'all, it smells divine in here. I kid you not. This one, I think my oven needs to be fixed. I think that it needs to be leveled out because it rose weird, but it's still going to taste amazing. That's all that matters. This one cooked for about 25 minutes because it didn't have the crust. Make sure you stay on top of that. This one cooked for 30 minutes with the crust. I'm gonna, whoop, I didn't cut that all the way through there. Did it come all the way through on the other side too? Okay, there we go. Look at that, y'all. You can see the bacon, you can see the spinach, you can see the steam, and most importantly, you can smell it and taste it if you make it. So, try it. Tell me how it turns out for you. I hope you love it. Y'all take care.